Well, hello, everyone. I'm Josh DeVine from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and I am very pleased to be with you tonight for this, the 15th annual Tennessee Season to Remember, the memorial honoring victims of homicide in our great state. As we reach our 15th year, Tennessee Season to Remember has truly become a holiday tradition. We have been remembering and honoring homicide victims since 2002. Murder is especially horrifying because another person's actions took an innocent life. The idea that the tragic loss of a loved one can be determined by another person's decision is devastating. It is also incomprehensible that it can be a random act. The perpetrator may not be known to the victim, or vice versa. The shock of losing someone to murder takes hold immediately and leaves family members totally bewildered. For the past 15 years, you have allowed us to reflect on and to honor your loved ones. And so we thank you for attending this special event on this special evening. Knowing how much this event means to families who have lost loved ones to homicide, Governor and Mrs. Haslam give it their support. We would also like to note that the Tennessee State Capitol and the Korean Veterans Bridge are both lit in purple tonight to honor this event, homicide victims, and their families and friends. We are honored tonight to have the Peacemakers, a talented group from the Memphis Police Department, to sing the national anthem. Gentlemen, please come forward. And to our audience, please rise now for the presentation of the colors by the Tennessee Highway Patrol Honor Guard. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and as the Honor Guard retires the colors. Advance the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much. Now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor Guard, please retire the colors. You may now be seated. Everyone who helps to plan this event welcomes you here tonight, and hope that those of you who have lost a family member or friend to homicide will find comfort and solace through tonight's service. Dr. Frank Lewis, who is the senior pastor of First Baptist Church, will deliver tonight's invocation.
Let's pray. God of all comfort, I come to you tonight as I have on many occasions from this pulpit to pray for all who have a broken and heavy heart. There are times when all we can do is stand on the promise that you are with us and that your love for us is a love that is stronger than death. We do that tonight. The pain and hurt of a grief that will not go away this side of heaven is a pain and a hurt that these know all too well. So God, I pray your blessings on all in this space tonight. I pray that tonight, as the names of those we loved are called, that your presence will bring comfort to the individuals and family members who are left to remember them. They lived, they loved, they made us laugh, and their absence this season brings a unique longing to our hearts that we cannot avoid. But God, we keep going because in doing so, we honor them. Thank you, Father, that in this busy season, our beloved former First Lady, Andrea Conte, and our beloved Governor Bill Haslam have set this time aside to love on our Tennessee family the way they have tonight. Please bless and keep them. Make their way clear as they continue to live out their lives of public service. They have been a blessing to our state, so please continue to be gracious to them. I pray all of these things tonight in the strong name of our Savior. Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. We are so very appreciative to First Baptist Church for once again opening the doors of this beautiful building for the 6th year. So thank you so very much. Governor Haslam, as we mentioned earlier, we certainly appreciate you and Mrs. Haslam for your continuing support of this effort and your compassion for the families gathered here and all across our state. Would you please say a few words now?
Thank you, Josh. And let me add my thanks to First Baptist and Dr. Lewis for hosting us. I was thinking on my way over here 7 years ago, I was a brand newly elected governor. I hadn't been sworn into office yet, and I will give everyone in the room a true confession. You have no idea what you don't know when you're brand new. And about every 5 minutes, you're reminded of something new that you didn't know, that you thought you knew. But one of those things was when I came to this event, and I thought, then First Lady Andrea Conte had asked Chrissy and I to come, and so we came, and I thought, what a lovely tribute to those folks who have lost their lives, and a way to remember them and to mourn with their family members. And this is that. It is a wonderful time to remember loved ones who have lost their lives. But I have figured out over the last 7 years, it is so much more than that. If you look around this room, this is literally a community of people from around the state who have been impacted by homicide, taking away the life of one of their loved ones. And if you look around this room, you have family and friends of folks who have lost their lives. You have law enforcement of all different types. You have members of the judiciary here. You have district attorneys here. You have members of the Board of Pardon and Parole. you have U.S. attorneys here, you have the state's attorney general, and then you have other elected officials, all here saying, we want to remember, but we also are here to make a statement that we will not settle for this in Tennessee. And while we are here to mourn and remember, but we're here also as a matter of resolve, that in the various positions we had, whether it's friend and family or elected or judicial or law enforcement or DA, that as Tennessee, we want to change this so that more families won't have to feel the pain that you have felt tonight. So on behalf of the state of Tennessee, I want to reach out to those families. You have our deepest sympathies, but you also have our resolve to make certain that we're doing everything we can to stop that. Again, thank you, and thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Governor, and thank you for your leadership on this issue. Board of Parole Victim Services Director Tina Fox will join us now to introduce tonight's keynote speaker.
Good evening. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to some and present to others our keynote speaker this evening, Mrs. Shannon Frazier. Shannon Frazier is a native of Memphis, Tennessee, currently residing in the Middle Tennessee area. She has always had a heart for helping others, and nursing is how she does it. She has worked in the nursing field since 2003, when she became a licensed practical nurse. She has obtained her associate's degree in nursing from Dyersburg State Community College. She holds a bachelor's degree in nursing from the University of Memphis and a master's degree in nursing from the University of Central Arkansas. She is currently employed with the Tennessee Department of Health as a family nurse practitioner. And before that, she worked as an operating nurse at LeBonner's Children's Hospital in Memphis. Shannon Frazier is the widow of the fallen Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Desharon Frazier, who was murdered in the line of duty on August 9, 2016 in Jackson, Tennessee, during an undercover drug operation. Shannon and Desharon were married for 13 years, and they have 2 children, Cameron and Kendrix Frazier. Without further ado, again, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to some and present to others Mrs. Shannon Frazier.
Good evening. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I am a little nervous, so please bear with me. And also, I won't hold you guys too long. This will be short. But good evening. Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, and thanks to everyone in attendance today for the warm welcome. I am pleased and honored to be your keynote speaker for this year's Season to Remember ceremony. First, let me say thank you to the Tennessee Board of Parole, Victim Services Director, Ms. Tina Fox, and the many agencies that worked to plan this event for inviting me to speak at tonight's ceremony, and for the great work you do in helping those persons affected by violent crime. I would also like to say thank you to Governor Bill Haslam, state government officials, and law enforcement agencies that are represented here today, especially Director Mark Gwynn and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for their continued love and support during the past year. Lastly, I'd like to thank the citizens of this great state of Tennessee and everyone here in attendance tonight for their thoughts, prayers, kind words of comfort, and generosity. So many people reached out from all over the state and even the nation when my husband was killed in the line of duty. And for that, I'm truly appreciative and thankful. When I was asked to speak with you on today, I accepted the invite almost immediately. Then after I hung up the phone, I began to think that I'd already made a big mistake. I'd never done any real speaking. It had only been a little over a year since my husband was killed, and I haven't done anything in the way of foundations or scholarships to honor his memory. I'm still waiting to go through the criminal proceedings in regards to my husband's case and the perpetrator that took him from us. But I am a person that has lost a loved one to crime, and unfortunately, that's something that I can speak about, and many of you here today have had to endure. I met Deidreon Rashawn Frazier, or Sean, as he was affectionately known by his family in 1998, our senior year of high school. We had first period English together, and to be honest, he could be really annoying at times. He would tease me mercilessly because he thought I was a little bit of a teacher's pet, and I think that was his way of getting my attention. But even then, I knew he was going to be a major part of my life. He even taught me how to drive back then. And he was there for me when my mother died a few months later after we met. We will go on to get married and have 2 awesome children, Cameron, who's 14 years old, and Kendricks, who is 4. We were married for almost 14 years. Our wedding anniversary, 11 days from the date that would change my life and the lives of our families forever. August 9th, 2016. It was a pretty normal morning for us. I was off work, and I'd actually taken the week off because it was the first week of school for my daughter, Cameron. My son, Kendricks, had been running a fever the previous day, and I was contemplating sending him to school that Tuesday morning. So I asked Sean what he thought, and he said in all of his Seanness, "What do you think you should do? You're a pediatric nurse, right? How long is he supposed to be fever-free before returning to school?" 24 hours was my reply. "Well, has he been fever-free for 24 hours? No. Well, there's your answer right there." Mind you, Sean has always been very blunt and gives the advice straight, no chaser. He gives me a hug, kisses me and Kendricks goodbye, and proceeds to take Cameron to school. Of course, I never imagined that would be the last time I would see my husband alive. I'm sure many of you are familiar with what happened, but if not, I'll tell you. At approximately 1:55 p.m. on August 9th, 2016, Sean was shot and killed while performing an undercover narcotics buy in Jackson, Tennessee. He had only been working for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for 6 months, but had previously served 6 years with the Millington Police Department, working with the DEA task force during that time. Sean had also previously worked with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, Shelby County Sheriff's Office, and the University of Memphis Police Department. D, as he was known by his law enforcement family, truly loved what he did for a living. And all I wanted to do was support him in those dreams. Back in early 2014, I was the one that actually researched the TBI State Academy and told him about it. Sean then applied, was nominated by Millington Police Department, and selected by the TBI to attend the 6-week class in Nashville. I think that class session lit a fire in him to go further, and because he would be graduating soon with his bachelor's degree from Bethel University, it was a good time to make that leap into state law enforcement. He indeed graduated in December of 2015, majoring in criminal justice. He then applied, interviewed, and was selected for the TBI Basic Criminal Investigation School in February 2016. If I can be honest with you, there are many days I just wish he'd stayed where he was previously employed, and I know that's because I love and miss him dearly. But I know the type of person Sean was, and he would not have been happy with that decision. He always had an ambitious spirit and really wanted to make his way in the world. I'm just so saddened that he didn't get the chance to reach his full potential with the TBI. Sean had a way of making you evaluate yourself, what you had going on in your life, and aspire to do better. He was always motivating me to keep going forward with my education. He knew I wanted to advance my career in nursing, and he was definitely my cheerleader and biggest supporter, along with our family and friends. Sean always had a way with words, and he loved to write me emails and send them to me. In one of the last emails he sent, he talked about the importance of making your own way while earning respect and doing what's right. He always saw the potential in me, even when I couldn't see it in myself. I've always been reserved and shy. I don't like confrontation and can be a bit of a pushover. Sean knew this and wanted me to improve on this character flaw. I had one semester of nurse practitioner school left, and he felt I needed to prescribe myself a few things. One medication, among many others, was 10 milligrams of Woman Up. He also made sure to inform me that although he was now working for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, if I did anything illegal, like divert narcotics, I was on my own. Believe it or not, that email, along with my faith in God and our 2 children, inspired and motivated me to return to nurse practitioner school 2 weeks after his tragic death. I would allow myself to cry on those long drives to and from clinicals, but when it was time to see my patients, I took the medication he recommended I prescribe myself and did what I needed to do. Sean was never about making excuses, and I knew he'd want me to keep up with my classwork regardless of what was going on in my life. I went on to complete nurse practitioner school and graduated in December 2016. I have since passed my national board exams and have finally gained employment as a family nurse practitioner. I'll always be grateful for the unconditional love and support Sean gave me and our children. He made sure we always knew that he loved us and that he cared for us. I'll forever be proud of him and humbled by the ultimate sacrifice he made in trying to make our communities a safer place to live, to work and live. The death of a loved one is very difficult to process and understand. We are often in shock and disbelief that our family member is no longer with us. When death occurs due to a senseless, violent crime, the pain may be more intense. The loss is sudden, no warning or way to prepare. Often the surviving family are looking for answers and they are not readily available, which leads to frustration and confusion. Grief has been an ongoing process for me and my family and is a natural part of losing a loved one. It comes and goes, waxes and wanes, but I always allow it to happen. I cry often when I think about the man that I was married to and how much he loved me and our kids. It really hurts when our 4-year-old son Kendrick asks, "Where's Daddy?" But I remember that I have two amazing children that depend on me to care for them. In order to do that, I know that I have to be at my absolute best. So for everyone in attendance tonight that may be grieving the loss of a loved one, let me ask you this. Figuratively speaking, what can you prescribe yourself to help you to continue moving forward in your life? Now, I don't mean prescribe yourself anything that will get you a visit from one of these law enforcement agencies present tonight. But how about 5 milligrams of peace, 10 milligrams of joy, 20 milligrams of happiness, or even 100 grams of love? Maybe if you really look within, you know you need to woman up or man up a bit. Well then, prescribe yourself the strength to press onward and upward, the confidence to make your own path in the world, or even the bravery and wisdom to start something that you never thought you could, like that foundation or scholarship in your loved one's memory. Because when we really think about it, we know that is what our loved ones would want and expect from us. Thank you for your attendance here tonight, and God bless you. Short and sweet.
Thank you so much, Shannon, and might I just say, the grace and the courage with which you have faced your darkest days has been an inspiration to all of us at TBI. I hope you know that you are stuck with us for the long haul. We love you. We are blessed this evening to have a great talent with us. Connie Smith has one of the finest voices in music. Her talents are recognized by her fans, her fellow performers, and the Country Music Hall of Fame, which honored her with induction in 2012. Please join me now in welcoming Miss Connie Smith.
I'm totally privileged and honored to be here tonight, and my friend Randy Hart is here feeling the same way we talked about it. It is our honor and privilege, and my heart goes out to everyone that's lost a loved one, and I know the answer to all of our woes, still the same answer, and it's the Lord Jesus Christ. Tempted and tried, we're oft made to wonder why it should be thus all the day long, while there are others living about us. Forget the words, I got scared. I'm sorry. Though in the wrong, farther along we'll know all about it. Farther along we'll understand why. Cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by. When death has come and taken our loved ones, it leaves our home so weary and drear. Then do we wonder why others prosper, living so wicked year after year. Farther along we'll know all about it. Farther along we'll understand why. So cheer up, my brother, live in the sunshine. We'll understand it all by and by.
Thank you so much, Connie. Now it is time to honor and remember those whom we have lost to crime. As we mentioned earlier, and as you know from the special pins you were given tonight, this marks the 15th anniversary of this event. We now ask Andrea Conti, the founder of Tennessee Season to Remember, to hang the first ornament in honor of the families of homicide victims who were unable to attend tonight. Thank you, Ms. Conti. We ask former State Senator Charlotte Burks to hang the next ornament in memory of her late husband, State Senator Tommy Burks. And she is not in attendance this evening. We'll move on. Ms. Conti has that ornament for us. Thank you so much. The sponsors of our event are state agencies involved in criminal justice. Each works with and for victims of crime with the goal of keeping our communities safe. Please come forward as your name and the name of your agency are called to place your ornament on a wreath. Tennessee Attorney General and reporter Herbert H. Slattery is hanging an ornament on behalf of the Office of the Attorney General. Deputy Attorney General Rachel Willis is hanging an ornament on behalf of the Criminal Justice Section of the Attorney General's office. Thank you. Chairman Richard Montgomery of the Board of Parole is hanging an ornament on behalf of crime victims served by the board's Victim Services Division. Thank you, Chairman Montgomery. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Director Mark Gwynn is hanging an ornament in memory of Special Agent Desrion Frazier, who, as you know, was killed in the line of duty last year. Thanks, Director Gwynn. Department of Correction Commissioner Tony Parker is placing an ornament to honor correction officers killed in the line of duty. Thank you, Commissioner Parker. Safety and Homeland Security Deputy Commissioner David McGriff, Tennessee Highway Patrol Lieutenant Colonel Tony Barham, and Lieutenant Colonel Derek Stewart, along with other command staff members, are here in remembrance of troopers lost in the line of duty. We ask members of the command staff who are present to stand as Deputy Commissioner McGriff and the Lieutenant Colonels hang their ornaments. Bill Scollin, Director of the Office of Criminal Justice Programs, hangs an ornament for his office and its parent agency, the Department of Finance and Administration, on behalf of Commissioner Larry Martin. Thank you, Director Scollin. Secretary of State Trey Hargett is represented by Communications Director Adam Gassimi. Thank you, Mr. Gassimi. From the Treasury Department's Division of Claims Administration, Amy Dunlap is hanging an ornament for the crime victims they serve. Thank you, Ms. Dunlap. The Tennessee Rehabilitative Initiative in Correction, TriCorps, is another of our sponsors. TriCorps Chief Executive Officer David Hart is representing that agency. Thank you, Mr. Hart. We are honored to have representatives of all 3 U.S. Attorney offices in the state with us tonight for the first time. U.S. Attorney for West Tennessee, Mike Dunavant, U.S. Attorney for Middle Tennessee, Donald Cochran, and First Assistant U.S. Attorney for East Tennessee, Nancy Haar, are with us. Each is hanging an ornament in honor of the homicide victims in their respective districts. Thank you. Metropolitan Nashville Police Chief Steve Anderson will now hang an ornament for Davidson County police officers who have lost their lives to violent crime. Also here tonight is Terry Ash, Executive Director of the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, who is hanging an ornament in honor of fallen comrades. Will anyone else representing sheriffs and police chiefs please stand while these ornaments are hung? Thank you so much. Diane Lance, Director of the Metropolitan Office of Family Safety, is also here to hang an ornament on behalf of murdered domestic violence victims in our state. Thank you, Director Lance. District Attorneys General from across Tennessee are here to honor victims of homicide in their home districts. We asked the group's president, the Honorable Gary Brown, to come forward and hang ornaments honoring homicide victims in all 31 judicial districts. We asked the Deputy Executive Director of the District Attorneys General Conference, Guy Jones, and all District Attorneys General present to stand as your name and district are called and remain standing until all in the group have been recognized. Tony Clark of the 1st Judicial District, Dan Armstrong of the 3rd Judicial District, Mike Flynn of the 5th Judicial District, Dave Clark of the 7th Judicial District, Jared Effler of the 8th Judicial District, Russell Johnson of the 9th Judicial District, Steve Crump of the 10th Judicial District, Bryant Dunaway of the 13th Judicial District, Craig Northcott of the 14th Judicial District, Jennings Jones of the 16th Judicial District, Ray Whitley of the 18th Judicial District, Glenn Funk of the 20th Judicial District, Kim Helper of the 21st Judicial District, Ray Crouch of the 23rd Judicial District, Matthew Stowe of the 24th Judicial District, Mark Davidson of the 25th Judicial District, Tommy Thomas of the 27th Judicial District, and Amy Wyrick of the 30th Judicial District. Thank you. You may now be seated. Tragedy has certainly struck our nation on multiple occasions this year, taking lives in Sutherland Springs, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, here in Davidson County, and in dozens of other communities, even as recently as today, when 2 high school students were shot and killed at their New Mexico school. Let's join together now in a moment of silence as we reflect on those lives lost to senseless crime and the survivors who are now coping with their losses. Thank you so much. Now we turn to honor survivors, to remember your loved ones. Randall Dickerson will read the names as each ornament is placed on a wreath. John Hernandez of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nashville will ring a bell as each name is spoken. Mr. Dickerson and Mr. Hernandez, please stand now. An usher is stationed at the front of the left side of the sanctuary. She will motion to you to come forward by rows and hang your ornaments, first on the left side of the sanctuary, then on the right side. Families, as you approach the front of the sanctuary, please give the card with the name of your loved one on it to the person assisting him. If you do not have a card with you, please signal to an usher that you need one. Those ushers will also help any family member who needs special assistance. We will go aisle by aisle, so please remain seated until an usher motions for you to stand and come forward. Families and friends, please come forward together as a family, and Mr. Dickerson will read the name of your loved one, then hang your ornament on one of the wreaths. Volunteers are there to direct you and help you secure your ornament. After you have placed your ornament on one of the wreaths, please follow the directions of the ushers to return to your seat. After the ceremony, you may return to the sanctuary tonight to take photos of your ornament on the wreaths. Please come forward quietly, however, so everyone can hear the names being read.
Montrell and Mason, Roderick Mason. Corey Henry. Officer Edward Lee, Timothy Edward Lee Hewlett. TBI Agent Dejaron Frazier. Sherry Lynn Smith. Joseph C. Adams, Jr. Josh Cole and Chris Karras. Jackie Donovan. Michael A. England. Sydney Pike. Mary Robinson. Sandy Idlet. Janicia Young. Taylor Alexander Bradford. Deputy John Music, Sergeant Jerry Monday, Wilson County Sheriff's Office. Kendrick Love. Stephen Lovell, Richard Somerville. Brian W. Howard. Carissa Mark. Jennifer Michelle Butler Fennell. John Poteet. Christina Robinson. Honoring victims from the 22nd Judicial District. Rose Goggins. Terry Dwayne Sherrill. Tabitha Celeste Helton. Scott County Victims of Domestic Violence. Child Victims of Fentress County in the 8th Judicial District. Aubrey and Alberta Hawkins. Wayne Robinson. Mr. Alton Nathaniel Hunter, Jr. Xavier Dobson, Devontae Ziegler. Juan Castro. Ed Wisdom, Jr. Courtney Cash. Melanie J. Brummett Preston. Timothy P. Allenbaugh II. Bradley Keith Lively. Tammy Goodwin. Jody Lee Rector, Dwayne Langston. Harold Knatzer and Chris Knatzer. Cynthia Green. Jerry Voiles. Michael Paul Fultz. Tracy Renee Thomas. Kenda Watkins, Jr. David Martin. Brian A. Amos, Jr. Johnny Michael Allen. Jay Whitehead. Brenda Blanton Lane. Christian Leach. Tennessee Association of Chiefs of Police. Child Victims of Campbell County. Child Victims of Union and Claiborne counties. Kelsey N. Dearman. Field Training Officer Richard Keith Beller. Ashley Brooke Long. Monte Rutledge, Donnie Cooksey. Shannon Paul. Arlis Masingo. Jackie Warpool Jr. Quentin D. Tidwell, Sr. LaRon Owens. Wendell Moss. James and Bill Ransom. Sandy Phelps. DeVillis L. Dodson. Vanessa McDaniel. Mario McKnight. Jalen Pritchard. Malik Kayan. Fidel Conde Stem. Gordon T. Garrett. Dashell Boyd. Becky Sewell. Adrian Ohakaway. Kimberly Green, April Green, Chandler Green. Lisa Saylor. Jackson Blue Sellers. Jessica Miranda Campos. William Garland Billy Cox. Tadariel T.K. Hancock. Taylor Madison Eisman. Darrell Eugene Sloan. David Russell Powers. Broderick Crawford. Debrianna Begley. Jawan Booker. Sherry Myers. Jim Crowder. Luke Shoemake. Brandon Jackson. Gloria Weiner, Rachel and Colton Johnson, Marla Sharp, Kelsey Burnett, Ryan Thornburg, Stephen Gargala, Mark D. Nelson, John Neuenschwander, Calvin Miller Jr., Bridges Domestic Violence Center honors those who received their wings too early. Jonah Berry, Dean Evans, TBI Special Agent Dejarin R. Frazier, Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to place an ornament on the wreath in honor of a departed one? Thank you. Ricardo and Siobhan Morgan. Dr. Janine Skinner. Herman Warfield. Harmony Warfield.
Thank you so much. Please join me once again in welcoming Connie Smith back for one more song.
Simply because of all the hearts that are involved. The weight is very heavy tonight, but we hope that this next song will maybe lift your spirits a little bit. It means a lot to me. There are times when life's burdens seem heavy. There is pain and sadness to bear. There are times when all friends forsake me, but when I need Jesus, He's there with His loving arms around me, my head on His breast. He whispers words of comfort. 'Tis a place of perfect rest. Broken hearts He'll mend, peace and strength He'll send. It's true, my friend. When I need Jesus, He's there. There are times when life's shadows surround me. Is there one who my sorrow will share? There are times when this world cannot help me, but when I need Jesus, when I need Jesus, when I need Jesus, He's there. God bless you.
Thank you so much. The memorial wreaths will remain here in the sanctuary if you would like to take a picture of your ornament tonight. Tomorrow, they will be moved to the Tennessee State Capitol. The wreaths will be in the second floor hallway by the grand staircase, where they will remain on display throughout the holiday season. On behalf of Governor and First Lady Haslam and our Tennessee sponsors, thank you to each of you for joining us for this, the 15th annual Tennessee Season to Remember. Again, we want to extend our sincere thank you to the gracious staff and congregation here at First Baptist Church Nashville for warmly welcoming us again for this, the 6th year. We also want to thank You Have the Power and Tennessee Voices for Victims for their assistance with this program, as well as the Middle Tennessee Office of the U.S. Attorney, the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, and the Davidson County District Attorney General, along with the Memphis Police Department. We also thank those who helped us to light the state capitol and the Korean Veterans Bridge in purple tonight to honor this event and victims of homicide. If, by the way, there happens to be any victim of crime here who is not registered to receive notifications on your case, you may sign up tonight. The Board of Parole's Tina Fox and Department of Corrections' Tamika Dobbins have forms for you. Ms. Fox is right here in the front row. You can find Ms. Dobbins near the refreshment table in the lobby. It has been my pleasure for me to be with you tonight for this very special service. May you have a warm and peaceful and joyful holiday season. Thank you so much. Good night.